I've been testing a special sort of under the radar treatment for about 2 years. The treatment is these pills called Naltrexone, but used at a low dose. So it's called low dose Naltrexone. These little pills, it actually, when used at a low dose between 1 and 5 milligrams, they produce this very natural and safe effect of boosting your natural endorphins, sort of like what you will get if you exercised or if you ate chocolate or anything else that kind of boosts your mood. That's your body releasing these endorphin chemicals. But most doctors don't know about it because there's not a whole lot of research. In this video, I'm going to explain how low-dose Naltrexone works, what kind of condition it treats, and hopefully you could at least have an intelligent discussion with your doctor, kind of explaining how this works and have them look into it for you. Because for me, it's really been one of the best treatments and safest treatments that I've ever used. It's improved my food allergies by a lot. It's something that I never thought would happen. It's reduced my eczema a bit, even though I'm already taking Dupixent, and that's calming down everything by a lot. And it's also reduced my inflammation in my joints and throughout my body so that I'm able to exercise a lot more, have better mood. It's gotten me over my depression. That's sort of a side effect from the cyclosporin that I take. So Naltrexone, taking just 2 milligrams a day, which is what I'm doing now, it has really, transformed my life to, passing for normal. Kind of have a taste of what normal is for the first time in my 38 years of being alive. Hey subscribers, what's up? It's Jeffrey Lin. Welcome back to my channel where I share my personal journey with multiple chronic illnesses, probably the top 5 worst eczema that research doctors have ever seen, really severe asthma, and one of the worst allergies that doctors have ever seen. I'm literally allergic to everything on the planet, including all food. I don't just get hives or a runny nose. These are toxic to me. Over the past 22 months, so almost 2 years, what I've found that has been really helpful for dealing with overactive immune and especially inflammation has been Naltrexone used at a low dose. And I really want to thank one of my YouTube subscribers, Melissa, for suggesting some research about this. Most doctors don't really know about this because there's not a whole lot of research on this, but there's actually a couple that are very reputable university research labs, including number 1, Stanford, the second one, Brown University, and also Washington University in St. Louis, which happens to be my sister's alma mater. They're a top cardiology, I believe, and heart surgery medical school in the world. And after researching it for a bit myself and asking one of my best friends who's gastrointestinal surgeon, it seems that low-dose Naltrexone, when used between 1 and 5 milligrams, really does have this amazing effect to kind of tweak your immune system so that it's natural, so it doesn't swing it so that you're immunocompromised, and it doesn't make you like overreact to anything. It just calms down your immune system and makes you overall more healthy. And the way it does this is Naltrexone used at a low dose stimulates your natural endorphins. And so for anybody that exercises or kind of knows a little bit about health, you've heard about endorphins. Is that chemical your body produces when you exercise or go out somewhere, go for a hike or have fun with friends, eat chocolate, which I'm allergic to, but I hear people feel really good after that. What happens is your body produces endorphins, which are these chemicals that not only boost your mood, which is why it helped me with depression. But it also, fixes your immune health, and by fixing your immune health, it also calms down inflammations, and it tweaks your immune responses so that it goes from like overreactive inflammatory to the healthier kind, which is repairing your cells and helping them grow better. So what are endorphins? Just a recap. On Healthline, they say, ever feel amazing after a good hard workout? You may have heard that your high is caused by tiny neurochemicals released by your body. These neurochemicals are called endorphins. While endorphins might make you feel good after a long jog, there's a lot more to know about the role they play in regulating your body. The word endorphin comes from putting together the words endogenous, meaning from within the body, and morphine, which is an opiate pain reliever. In other words, endorphins got their name because they are natural pain relievers. They are produced by the central nervous system and pituitary gland. Since endorphins act on the opiate receptors in our brains, they reduce pain and boost pleasure, resulting in a feeling of well-being. As Healthline explained here, endorphins are the natural opioids that your body produces to give you a better mood. So it's not the bad kind of opiates that you take as drugs. But that's why naltrexone is related to both. That's why when we're using naltrexone at a low dose, naltrexone boosts endorphins, which is a type of opiate. And when naltrexone uses at a high dose, it kind of blocks the bad opiates permanently. And that's kind of how naltrexone is normally used. It's used for getting people over opiate addiction by blocking their opiate receptors in the body. So your body isn't receiving any of those opiates that you, even if you take some. If you don't remember anything else from this video, just remember that low-dose naltrexone boosts your endorphins. If you're trying the low-dose naltrexone treatment, start low and go slow. So I'm only using 2 milligrams, and that's where I found that works best for me. I started with about 1 milligram and slowly moved up. I went all the way up to 3 milligrams, but started getting a little bit drowsy, sort of the similar side effects that you would normally get from taking antihistamines, so I backed it off to 2. But if you can get even a lower dose, I would suggest you would start at maybe 0.5 milligram and increase it by 0.5 milligram every month or every 2 months. You want to go slow because we're playing with such a tiny dose that increasing it by a tiny bit might get you to the perfect place, and it might overshoot where your body kind of responds to the naltrexone and how much endorphins it creates for your body. What kind of benefits does low-dose naltrexone provide? Well, it provides a lot of the same benefits that you would get from increased endorphins. You would have better wound healing. It's anti-inflammatory, reduces your flare-ups and inflammation, improves your immune health, fights infections, actually even makes it harder for you to get infections. Improves nervous system health. It increases your mood, boosts your mood. Definitely has for me, just like the way I'm interacting with you guys here. I couldn't do that before. And it reduces stress and anxiety. And finally, it can help people lose weight. It's definitely helped me to do that a bit, and because reduce my inflammation and improve my energy levels, I'm also able to get on the treadmill, also ride my bike basically every day. And so it creates a positive spiral. It allows you to get better and better and have several parts of your health start improving. Once you get one part going that's getting better, the other part starts improving as well. So it's a great positive feedback loop to have. Here's a list of conditions that researchers have used low-dose naltrexone on with really good results. It's worked with allergies, asthma, itchy skin, psoriasis, cancer, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, colitis, Parkinson's disease, chronic pain, and chronic fatigue. And one of the main themes, underlying all these conditions is their immune overreactions that kind of leads to flare-ups or cells getting out of control. How does low-dose naltrexone actually work? This is a part of the video that I really want you guys to understand, because your doctor probably doesn't know anything about this. Your doctor will know about naltrexone, so it is something that they can prescribe, but using it as an endorphins booster, using it to reduce inflammation, using it to improve your immune health, that's something they probably don't know much about, because all of the literature, the medical literature, is about using naltrexone for opioid addictions. Naltrexone is an opioid blocker. So usually when they use it for to treat opioid addictions, they're just permanently, they're giving you so much naltrexone, like 50 to 100 milligrams. So now that naltrexone is permanently blocking all of the opioid receptors within your body. So even if you take some opioids, you won't really be craving it, or you won't really react to it that much. But what we're doing is using it at a low dose. It'll only block your opioid receptors for a couple minutes or a couple hours. It's very temporary, and that's what we want. And to understand why this will boost your endorphins levels, the best analogy I can come up with is think of endorphins as music, therapeutic music that your body needs. Okay, so but the volume isn't very high, so you can't hear it very well. And so how can we hear the music better? You take naltrexone, which is sort of like a blocker, and you temporarily block your ears so you actually hear the music even less. So how do you hear the music more when you're doing this? Well, you got to increase your sensitivity. So maybe you move closer to the music so you can hear it a little bit better, right? And also you can turn up the volume on the music so you can hear it through these blockers. So imagine what happens when you take these blockers off. Number one, you have move closer to the music so you can hear it better. Basically, you have increased your sensitivity to the music. And second of all, you turn up the volume. Your body is producing more endorphins. The overall effect is you're hearing the music, you're hearing the endorphins so much better, so much louder compared to where you started. And that's what we wanted. We wanted more endorphins and more sensitivity to endorphins so that you can get more out of each endorphin. The extra special thing about low-dose naltrexone is it stimulates a specific kind of endorphin. It's called OGF, or opioid growth factor. The chemical name is met-enkephalin, which is an endorphin that's really good at cellular renewal, fixing cells, wound healing, and kind of stopping tumors from growing. The more of these OGF endorphins that you have, it controls your immune T cells and B cell activity. Basically, it reduces your immune from overreacting. Now, low-dose naltrexone also blocks the release of these chemicals in your body, these that causes inflammation. So they're called cytokines, including interleukin or IL-6, IL-12, and a few others. And these are the same kind of chemical signals that the shots that I take, like Xolair and Dupixent, they were tweaking these interleukin chemical signals too, and low-dose naltrexone kind of helps along with that as well. So when you have enough of these OGF endorphins that naltrexone has stimulated to come out, your body switches from one type of immune response from what's called Th2. It's more causes chronic inflammation and damages cells, to Th1, which is a better healing, regrowth kind of immune response, which is what you want. So again, like I said, using low-dose naltrexone doesn't cause you to be overreactive with your immune, and doesn't cause your immune to be immunocompromised or suppressed. It just kind of gets your immune to where it should be and reacting naturally and normally. So to summarize, basically, low-dose naltrexone does two things. By temporarily blocking your endorphin receptors, it one, increases your endorphin sensitivity, so you get more out of each endorphin, and two, it kind of tricks your brain into releasing even more endorphins, because again, remember, you're temporarily blocking it, so you're like, oh, I need the volume turned up, so your body will produce more endorphins because of that. The hardest part about using low-dose naltrexone is actually just convincing your doctor to prescribe it. And I know a lot of countries don't even have naltrexone, but in the US and I think in Europe and Canada, it's available. So you just gotta convince your doctor that it is something you wanna try, or you gotta find doctors that will prescribe it for you. The website, ldnresearchtrust.org, has a lot of doctors listed that can prescribe low-dose naltrexone for you. And LDN Research Trust also has a list of pharmacies. That's where I'm getting my pills now, is from a compound pharmacy. A compound pharmacy is a pharmacy that makes medications from scratch. Again, because naltrexone is hard to get in these low doses. They're usually prescribed in 50 to 100 milligrams, so it's really hard to get it in 1 to 5 milligram doses. And especially if you want to start low, you will need these 1 milligram pills to be the building blocks as you slowly increase your dose and figure things out. How I convince my doctors to prescribe low-dose naltrexone for me is because naltrexone is actually an approved treatment for eczema, particularly for itching, but it basically knocks you out, which isn't good, which isn't what we want. We actually want to have more energy and to feel better and have a more abundant life. That's what my goal is, and that's what I've gotten from it. So, but I told my doctor, well, sure, you can prescribe the 50 milligram standard naltrexone dose for me, but I want it in the lowest capsules possible. Well, the lowest at the time that I could get from my regular pharmacy was 5 milligrams. So I said, you can prescribe the 50 milligram dose for my eczema, for my itching, but do it in 5 milligram capsules. And once I got the capsules, I would cut them up and take 1/4 of the capsule at a time. So 1/4 or a quarter of 5 milligrams is 1.25 milligrams. So that's where I started. And then slowly I increased it to half a capsule. So that would be 2.5 milligrams. So that's how I played around with my dose and started low, like it said, and slowly increased it. And after that started working, I was able to show my doctors that I am doing so much better. Then I was able to convince them, hey, give me a prescription for an even lower dose. So they prescribed the 1 milligram dose, and I had to go to the compound pharmacy to get it because the regular pharmacies couldn't make something that small, like milligrams that small. So that's how I went about it. But for your specific condition, I don't know if it's approved or if you have to go find one of these other doctors on ldnresearchtrust.org and see if they can help you. But I have tried so many treatments throughout my life that this is really one of the top 3, and risk adjusted, this is probably the best at fixing a lot of things all at once. Because the other treatments I'm taking is cyclosporin, which is a very toxic immunosuppressant, and the other one is Dupixent, which is close to being as safe as Naltrexone is. As it said, it doesn't really tweak much in your body. There's not a lot of side effects to it, but it's still not as natural as using low-dose Naltrexone just to stimulate your natural endorphins. Because what's actually causing the transformation, what's actually reducing your inflammation and boosting your immune is not Naltrexone itself. Naltrexone just kind of tricks your body into releasing the endorphins, and it's the endorphins itself, the OGF endorphins, that are fixing your body, reducing the inflammation, that kind of stuff. I hope it works well for you guys. And I know there will be a lot of questions, so remember to like, subscribe, and definitely leave comments. If you need to ask me any questions directly, my direct contact info is in the description below.